focused on promoting business growth, building community, and advocating for the sustainable economic success of the Greater Clinton region. Grow Clinton This Morning, a program in partnership with KROS.
Pleasure to have in studio this morning with us Lesley Webster, of course, handles all of the tourism activities for Grow Clinton. How's it been going?
It's been going really well. Thank you.
So we had some weather roll in last week. Unfortunately, some of it very bad for the area, but consignment crawl did take place, but consignment crawl 2.0, I guess.
That's right, 2.0, back and better or the same as before. So because of the weather Friday, actually most of the stores I talked to said that they had pretty good participation in the morning, but by early afternoon, everybody was hunkering down. So because of that, they kind of missed almost a full day of sales, and they want to go ahead and do it again this weekend. So I was out Friday, but just for a short while. And then Saturday, I hit a bunch of stores. Everyone seemed to have lots of traffic, and that was really exciting. So we'll just do it again. And if you watch the Facebook page that's called, I had it up and I changed it. I think it's called Consignment Crawl.
I think that's basically
the whole
about
thing,
it.
Retail tour or whatever. And if they watch that, it's going to list all of the stores that are participating this weekend as well. I believe they're just keeping their signs and keeping them in place and stuff like that.
Of course, Friday is going to be Good Friday, and of course
right?
Easter coming up on Sunday, so some of them may have other plans.
Exactly. So there were a few stores that either were going to have actually reduced hours because of the weekend, or just weren't going to be able to have the manpower to put the sales and stuff on. But most of them are participating. And of course, you're allowed to go shopping, even if there's not a special going on. We want you to.
Exactly. And of course, it was so nice that, Clinton, Lyons, and Fulton all pretty much involved in this. So
everybody was.
Check their Facebook, and you'll
yes,
find out more.
Yes, please do.
So we're hoping that spring does arrive one of these days.
We have to think it will, right?
Yes, but so people might want to get out on a bike when it gets nice.
Right. And we have great news. We're so excited that they're going to be out on the river this year. I have a temp associate, or I think that's the right term, but I have somebody working with me, Christine. She's fantastic, and she has just taken that on and has gotten through. We bought new bikes, or new bike locks for these bikes. And of course, if you haven't ever rented a bike, it's very easy to do. You put an app on your phone, you go down, you scan it with your camera on your phone, you just hold it up, scan the QR code, and you go from there, and it lets you lock and unlock these bikes. Well, so they're new locks, and so they sent us new stickers with the QR codes and things. And so we had them on all the bikes. Caleb had got those on all last year, and the locks were all on, but we hadn't got to change the batteries till this year. So in changing the batteries, what we discovered as she was using the app to lock and unlock things is that these QR codes are actually attached to specific locks, and we didn't know this. So the locks and the codes are not at all matched up. And so she would hit a button, and we would hear somewhere across the room, whirr, while the lock opened. So she had to spend the day tracking down, several days tracking down 26 bikes, listening for where was it opening at, and rearranging all of the codes to match the locks.
I know when it was going, it was something that a lot of people did take advantage of. So it'd be great to have it back.
Yes, we're excited, and we have some ideas around it this year too, that we'd like to do some sponsorships with the bikes, and then if your organization wanted to come in at a certain level, that you would actually be able to do free bike rides for people that have your email address. So if, everybody at KROS.com wanted to, or whatever. So we're not sure exactly what that looks like yet, but we're working on that.
Stay tuned.
Yes.
And Illinois, Fulton's got some exciting news concerning bikes.
Right. So Illinois it's called the Grand Illinois Bike Tour. It's not as grand as RAGBRAI is, but it is a pretty cool ride, and they move around to different parts of the state each year. And this year they're doing Northwest Illinois. So on June 13th, which is one of, I think, 5 days. Yes, it's the 11th through the 16th is the ride. But on the 13th, they're riding from Moline to Savannah. And so Fulton is going to be their halfway stop. So they had reached out to us a few weeks ago, kind of touched base once, but I just had my first real conversation with them last week with the lady that plans the stops. And she comes from a RAGBRAI background. So she's envisioning, a stop with lots of people out to greet and things. And I said, oh, let me tell you, we did RAGBRAI. We know how to do this. We'll throw you a party. So I haven't even got a chance to talk about it really much with people in Fulton yet, just kind of starting those conversations. But we're excited to see what we can to offer them when they're here on their stop. And really, my whole goal is to make it so amazing that they want to come back to Fulton and come back to Clinton.
So June 13th, and of course, Fulton, they are gearing up for Dutch Days. That'll be coming
Right.
up first weekend in May. And of course, they've got the windmill, not only the windmill itself, but the cultural center
Correct.
as well. So a lot of activity over there in Fulton.
Lots of it. And the Cultural Center just wrapped up their Wild Winter Wednesday programs, which they do, I think it's like December through March. So they wrapped that up last week, but now they're transitioning into their year-round, I don't know if you call them like an educational opportunity or kind of really a tourist opportunity. Every month they have a new program about some interesting topic.
Yeah, we had that on this morning on our Restrelli
great.
Grapevine. They were talking about that. Of course, we are getting ready for the summer season, and we're so fortunate to have that beautiful riverfront. It won't be long. There'll be baseball, the showboat, and of course, tailgate and tall boys.
That's right.
So how did the meeting go Friday? Were you involved in that?
I was there. I think it went very well. We had maybe, I'm just guessing, maybe around 40 business owners and residents there with lots of great questions. One of the questions that came up a couple different ways were business owners that either are along 2nd Street or along in the area or whatever, and they wanted to know, could they use their parking lot and sell their parking spaces, and that is a resounding yes.
Okay.
And then we also talked about we want businesses to be prepared to stock up. Anecdotally anyway, they said that in Peoria, all of the restaurants ran out of beer and the grocery stores ran out of beer, and we want you to be thinking about that. And then Deanna from Deanna's Java pointed out very intelligently, I believe, like, start stocking up now. Don't wait until June to put in a big order because maybe you won't get enough. Yeah. So she talked about that, like the need to prepare ahead. And so I thought it was a really, really beneficial meeting. I think if you go to the city social media that it's posted somewhere that you can watch it again.
Okay, so that'll be coming up in 2 months. Hard to believe it'll be here before
it's
you know it.
Almost here.
Yeah, that
yes.
is exciting and interesting.
That's right.
So now, was it primarily restaurants, convenience stores, taverns? Who was all there?
I'm not sure. I'm terrible with faces, and I don't always put the faces with the people. Of the people that I knew and recognized, most of them were either restaurant or shop owners that are going to be in the areas that are affected. Okay. And so there's lots of great questions. Some of them, of course, are going to have access is going to be difficult for a few days. But so the mayor was able to point out which streets will be closed, at what time, how you'll have access. And of course, so most of Riverview Drive will be closed. Essentially, just consider it closed for all purposes. But if you have a boat down in the marina, you will be able to access your slip. So you'll be able to access it from 9th Avenue North, come down that kind of far entrance into the slip and be able to get to it. But those people will all, for example, have a placard that actually gets them into that, because otherwise nobody else is going to get down there.
We've been having Josh Eggers come in on a monthly basis,
Yes.
and he'll be in again on April 28th. So we're going to be just over a month away from the event, and a lot more information I'm sure he'll have
Right.
for us at that time. So thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for letting me.
People want to find out any more about what Grow Clinton can provide for them as far as tourism. How can they best do that?
Follow us online. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Visit Clinton, Iowa, or visit Fulton. You can also follow Grow Clinton on both of those platforms as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Grow Clinton, a regional nonprofit organization focused on promoting business growth